All right, so Coach, I want to thank you for meeting with me today. And obviously, you watched the video. I just wanted to know what you thought about it and what feedback you had to give me, what things I need to work on and stuff like that.
So my name's Lee Leslie, and I am Lindsay's mentor. I'm in my 35th year of teaching education, and I saw a lot of good things. You basically have followed a lot of the structure that we've done here in the past. You started on the board giving a lot of information so that they could see it. You're giving proper techniques and proper information on what they need to do. And then you got out there in the field and you showed them how to do things and kind of let them trial and error some things, which I actually like because they've got to learn it themselves. You talked about caution, you talked about safety, which is huge. And I thought you did a really good job.
Okay, so basically the video and the lesson had to really touch on the first three standards of our program, and the first one is learner development. The second one is learning differences, and the third one is the learning environment. So learning development is basically the guided question asked, does the candidate use knowledge about students' growth, development to design and implement developmentally appropriate and challenging learning experiences? I actually thought I challenged the students quite a bit, but obviously you have more experience in that area. So what did you see in the video that entailed that?
I thought that I like that you explained it on the whiteboard first, gave them kind of a visual aid of how to start it. And then really just over the years, it seems like there's so many different things that happen with different personalities in a room, so that if you stay strong with your standards of what you're teaching, you can kind of come off the midline or the center line to adapt to whether you have special education kids or something like that in there. And I thought you mentioned those things very well. A lot of people think it's an easy job to be a weight room instructor or a PE teacher, but it's not. There's a lot of potential for risk and things there. And then there's a lot of opportunity to build kids' self-esteem, give them a release throughout the day so that they're better students when they get to the classroom. So I thought you hit on a lot of good, important areas.
Okay, and the second standard in that was learning differences, and the guided question is, does the candidate create a positive classroom environment, climate, by making students feel valued and show respect for each other? I actually think that I wanted my students more to try to encourage each other more and do stuff like that. I think they did have fun.
Yeah, and you showed some collaboration there. You're scaffolding, you're going from the whiteboard to some collaboration, and I think that's important. But yeah, I think it was a good atmosphere. It was a good learning atmosphere. I think you gave them enough rope to go out and do the exercise and clean things up when they needed to be cleaned up, or let them keep going. Obviously, kids are going to go at different, on their own schedules of how fast they're picking things up, but I thought it was a positive environment.
Okay. You mentioned, the collaborative part of it. That's the learning environment. Does the candidate create environments that support individual and collaborative learning, positive social interaction, and active engagement in the learning and self-motivation?
Yep. And through the years and what you've seen me do is once, like I'll get kids to learn to do cleans and clean and jerks and things like that, and once I pass them on it, they now become a mini me in the classroom, and that's where the collaboration comes in that you were doing. So there's many times where my good strong lifters will correct another lifter who's doing it wrong, because I can't be in every place, in every second, every crack of the weight room.
Right.
So I've got to rely on some of that collaboration, not just that it's fun for the kids, but it's good reliability for me. And I thought you brought that out well. I thought you used it to your advantage, and it makes sense in the weight room.
Okay, well, is there any advice you would like to give me? Any pointers?
I gave you high marks because you've got a good relationship with the kids. You're graphic. You give very good explanation. I did put on there that you repeat yourself a lot, but with kids, that's not a bad thing, because oftentimes you'll teach somebody something and 30 seconds later they'll come back with what? You know, so the fact that you're repeating yourself is more of you're reemphasizing over and over again that this is what they have to do, and you're hitting critical issues there several times, and I think that's a positive for you. So I think it worked out well.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks for your help and all the advice that you've given me. I look forward to doing more and getting the students more involved in everything.
Ebony and ivory.